Hello, everybody. We are coming to you from the NDTV newsroom, and whole of Tamil Nadu is going to vote on the 19th of April in the first in the first phase of elections. And in the last few months, there have been a lot of discussions on how Tamil Nadu is going to vote, if the DMK is going to sweep the state one more time. How effective is the BJP strategy in Tamil Nadu going to be? And this has been in the spotlight because in the last few years, BJP, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has been doing a lot in Tamil Nadu. The focus of their entire campaign has been Tamil Nadu, and the BJP, led by the Prime Minister, have been celebrating Tamil symbols, Tamil icons from Thiruvalluvar to Subramanya Bharati, and we saw the Sengol celebration happen during inauguration of the new parliament. We saw the Tamil Saivite Adinams come to Delhi. So there's been a lot of focus on Tamil culture and Tamil symbolism. What does this mean for the state of Tamil Nadu, its politics? We have Mr. Sugata Srinivasaraju with us. He's an expert, somebody who's been tracking Indian politics for many years, somebody who understands identity politics. Thank you, sir, for speaking to NDTV.
Thank
I'm
you,
going to
Vasudha.
ask you a lot of basic questions today. Help us understand why is the BJP so interested in Tamil Nadu?
Thank you, Vasudha. Thank you for having me. More than the BJP, let me sort of start with Mr. Modi. Why is Mr. Modi so very interested in in Tamil Nadu? See, Modi has sort of, tried to form his image. Lots of people have said this. He tries to imitate, or not exactly imitate, but tries to sort of follow Indira Gandhi's ideas, and then also sort of wants to look like a pan-Indian leader. The BJP until now has always been categorized as some kind of a North Indian party, a Hindu party, a Hindi party, and has never been taken seriously in the South except for in Karnataka. And even in Karnataka, Vasudha, it is not the saffron party that we see in the North. It is not the Hindu party that we see in the North. It's more the caste saffron, the more the Lingayat caste saffron that actually brought BJP to power in Karnataka. So, in
Right.
terms of the South, BJP has never sort of been able to sort of enter with its ideological sort of flatness that it has created in the Hindi heartland. So that is the reason why I started off by giving the Indira Gandhi reference.
Yes.
Indira Gandhi or Nehru, or even, whatever sort of Rajiv Gandhi inherited from the two of them, they all look like pan Indian leaders. And Indira Gandhi, especially in 1977, when the entire North India rejected her, it was the South which still offered her some hope. So
Right.
she held on to that and then went back to recovering the North. In 78, she was revived in Chikmagalur, if you remember. And in 1980, she contests two seats, Raebareli and Medak in undivided Andhra Pradesh,
Yes.
and she
Yes.
retains Medak. She gives up
Yeah.
Raebareli. Not
Yeah.
many people remember that. So she always was seen as a leader who was a colossus across India. And Modi has never been that as until now, nor has the
Yes.
BJP been that. And that is probably what spurs him to sort of go and capture this, other part of India, which is usually referred to as the other India, and the
Yes.
and the provocation, or another country rather. In fact, not
Right.
just another India, another country. Down the
Yeah.
Vindhyas, it's always seen as
Yes.
another country.
Yeah.
And the other provocation could be, immediate provocation, not the long provocation that he has had, the civilizational ideas that have challenged the BJP and all that. But the immediate provocation could also be that the Congress has tried to divide and present the idea that the South is never going to be conquered by the BJP, and they've
Yes.
tried to drive home that point. So
Yeah.
that may have been another element which has sort of pushed him to look at the South a little more seriously. But
Right.
we have to remember that Modi's approach to the South is not a flippant approach. A lot of
Okay.
people have not sort of captured this. He has sort of a three-pronged approach, according to me. It's a three-pronged
Hmm.
approach. One is a civilizational approach. He has sort of been very consistent with that. The second thing has been a cultural approach.
Hmm.
And the third, in the same order, it's the political approach. So the
Okay.
political thing, he hopes, will sort of gain momentum once the civilizational and the cultural sort of settle down.
Okay. Right, sir.
Right?
Sir,
So as we
yeah.
go on, probably I can explain what his
Yes.
civilizational and cultural thing
No,
is.
no, this is a very important point. And, coming to this, how do you see Mr. Modi's engagement with Tamil Nadu in the last few years? And how do you think it is different from the way BJP leaders in the past engaged with Tamil Nadu? Because I find it fascinating that in the BJP manifesto, they have a Ramayana Utsav, but they also are talking about world class Thiruvalluvar centers across the world. So, what does this mean for the legacy of Tamil? Something that Dravidian parties for long have, held complete ownership over.
See, that is the civilizational and the cultural element that I was trying to talk to you about. See, even when Mr. Modi has referred to India being the mother of democracy, what is the example that he has cited? He has always said it is the 1100-year-old inscription which
Yes.
speaks about election of leaders, dismissal of leaders, formation of communities based on some kind of election. I don't completely buy that argument. But then, what is significant for us as observers is that
Hmm.
he is drawing examples from Tamil Nadu to
Hmm.
present his biggest argument, which is trying to present to the world that India
Hmm.
has been the mother of democracy. And
Right.
when the whole of the opposition has been trying to cry foul about Mr. Modi's democratic, principles and arguments and institutional decline and all that, Modi has been consistent about his democratic message. Given, I think, a couple of days back, I think you were also in Rajasthan. Around that
Yes.
time, I think speaking in Barmed, he made it
Yes.
very, very clear that even if Dr. Ambedkar is going to come back and ask us to change the constitution, we are not going to
Uh-huh.
change it. So he has sort of driven home this idea that India has been the mother of democracy, and the example that he has picked or the illustration comes from a Tamil inscription.
Okay.
That is
Right.
point number one. Point
Hmm.
number two is that Mr. Modi, unlike the other leaders in the past of the
Hmm.
BJP or the RSS,
Hmm.
has not tried to belittle the linguistic identity which is so
Right.
central to the Tamil politics or Dravidian politics. Mr.
Right.
Modi has accommodated Tamil much
Right.
more than any other BJP leader.
Right.
Mr. Modi, as you rightly referred when you began the show, he has quoted from Tamil. In fact, when he went to the United Nations, not just United Nations, in other places too, he has quoted from Tamil verses. I'm not trying to suggest, Vasudha, even for a minute, that all this is going to yield immediate political results. But
Yes.
I'm fascinated by the cultural and civilizational journey that he is undergoing, or has, I mean, the trajectory that he has followed,
Hmm.
which is akin to wooing a girl. A
Right.
girl who is just not sort of, accepting your propositions is
Huh.
being wooed very hardly for the last decade.
Huh.
And he has tried to wear the Tamil style dhoti.
Yeah.
He has tried to create a kind of linkage, antiquity,
Yes.
a
Yes.
linkage of antiquity between Kashi, Varanasi, which is his
Yes.
constituency, and Tamil Nadu.
Hmm.
Then, I spoke to you about quoting Tamil verses and stuff like
Absolutely.
that.
Shugata sir, I'll tell you this interesting thing. When I was in
Yeah.
Alwar yesterday, there are these hoardings of the Prime Minister in Veshti. For me to
Yes.
think that the Prime Minister in Veshti could be featured in a state like Rajasthan was itself quite, interesting. And I think the BJP has made a conscious attempt to do that. But the question here is, sir, are Tamil people willing to change their perception about the BJP? What do you
Yeah.
think? What are the changes there?
See, that's $100 question, 100 million question. We don't know if
Yeah.
this is sufficient kind of wooing,
Hmm.
if this is something that will please the Tamils and convert them overnight. But
Hmm.
what has to be appreciated, or what
Hmm.
has to be sort of acknowledged, if not appreciated may not be the right word,
Hmm.
acknowledged, is that there is a consistent and relentless effort to culturally, enter into their psyche, into their consciousness, and make the BJP acceptable. And he's trying to do that on their terms, not trying to say India is one country, one language, that flat kind of messaging that the BJP often does. One nation, one religion, one language. That messaging Mr. Modi has never done in Tamil Nadu especially.
Tamil Nadu. Yeah.
In fact, one of the rallies that he was addressing, at the end of the rally, he said, uh, if you want to listen to me, you can listen to me in your language. The
Yeah.
app allows that, technology allows that.
Yes.
So, he's not using a live translator. Sometimes he does. But
Right.
otherwise, when he does not have, he sends across this message. He tells the audiences that my speeches are available in Tamil. So there
Yeah.
is a kind of, for all the criticism that Rahul Gandhi has been making, that BJP is a one trick pony, using religion as its kind of main polarizing element. Mr. Modi has indirectly been trying to diversify his agenda, trying to indirectly suggest that I'm not so.
Huh.
I dress like a Tamilian, I speak like a Tamilian, I want to think like a Tamilian, and I'm trying to tell them that please accept me. See,
Yeah.
they may not win as many seats as they want to, but
Right.
certainly their vote share is certainly going to go up,
Absolutely.
right?
Shugata sir,
Yeah,
recently when the Prime Minister held a roadshow in the south of Chennai, which is seen as a citadel of the DMK, he was
yeah,
there in T Nagar. And I remember T Nagar as this place where the Justice Party in some ways was, it came to life that every street literally is named after a Justice Party leader. So,
yes,
and he stopped his roadshow right just a few meters away from the DMK office. So in some ways, he was taking the fight to the DMK doorstep. Now,
right.
ideologically, civilizationally, and politically, how has the BJP's relationship with Dravidian parties been like, especially Mr. Modi's, because he did talk about Jayalalitha very fondly. Although Annamalai has been critical of her, but Mr. Modi has made it a point to always talk of her very fondly. In fact, he said that after the 2002 riots, when there were many people criticizing me, it was Jayalalitha who not only came to Gujarat but also supported me. So, how do you see this relationship of the BJP under Narendra Modi with Dravidian parties? Also, Vijay Kant, he was very, he was very nice. Uh, he was very emotional about his death. So, how
Yeah,
do you
he
see
did.
that?
He did write an obituary
Yes, yes,
for
absolutely.
for Vijay Kant and DMDK.
Yes,
Although the DMDK is now aligned with
this
AIDMK, he
AIDMK,
still
yes,
was very fond. And last time they were in
yeah,
alliance together. But I'm very
yes,
glad you asked me this question about the Justice Party, Vasudha. See, the political Dravidianism that we see today in Tamil Nadu, which is 65 years old. They came to power 65 years old, but they're almost a century old in terms of ideas. The Justice Party then sort of transformed in many ways, became Periyar's, DMK, and then became Anna's DMK, and then split into a AIDMK. You know the history of the whole thing.
yes,
So there, see, the whole ideological thing was that they built the whole thing around a certain, they sort of completely created an opposite image of themselves. We are
right,
we the North Indians. It was a kind of a rationalist kind of
yeah,
thing. And Dravidian parties, even before the BJP was born, were past masters in the propaganda that we today accuse the
yeah,
BJP of. It could be Tamil cinema, it could be the Tamil scripts, the scripts that were written, and that's how they sort of brought and created a political culture, and that political culture was built around the middle castes, what we call the OBCs today. If you look at the 2011 census, that's the last census that we have. I think 68% of Tamil Nadu is designated as OBC.
obviously, yes,
So the OBC parties, they captured the mindset there, and they built them, they positioned themselves. If you look at Annadurai's speeches in Rajya Sabha, it's fascinating. The kind of ideological contrast that he tries to build to the North Indian parties and Congress especially, right? See, he was building the Dravidian movement opposite the Congress party. It was not the BJP. The Jansang, the BJP did not even exist. The Jansang
Exist.
did not matter. And the
Hmm.
communists did not matter.
Hmm.
It was Dravidianism, you should remember, was built opposite Congress.
Yeah.
And it is in that context that it's very
Hmm.
interesting also to note that Mr. Rahul Gandhi today
Hmm.
has not gone to Tamil Nadu and tried to revive the Congress, but has subsumed the identity of the Congress under the DMK. He has
Yeah.
embraced Dravidianism as much
Yeah.
as Mr. Modi tries to draw from
Uh,
the Tamil pride or tries to, coax them, cajole them,
hmm.
co-opt them, and do all that. Rahul Gandhi's politics,
Hmm.
increasingly after 2022, especially after his
Hmm.
parliament speech in 2022 February, where
Hmm.
he openly said, "I like the Tamil people," and
Yes. Yes.
that's the model that we need to sort of
Hmm.
adopt, and that,
Hmm.
for him probably it was closest to European Enlightenism, reason,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know I mean, keeping faith away from the state and whatsoever. I mean, Rahul Gandhi's understanding of the Dravidian game is very, very narrow and limited, let me tell you
Okay.
that. But he has
Hmm.
also drawn from the Tamil experience. As
Right.
much as Mr. Modi is trying to woo them,
Right.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi is also trying to be dependent on the Tamil experience to build an opposition to the BJP. And the
Right.
irony is that that
Hmm.
same Dravidianism was
Hmm.
built opposite the Congress party.
Right, sir.
See, until
And
1965 and 66, this
hmm.
whole seditious argument that
Yes.
we may sort of any day go away from India
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
always very alive.
Yeah.
It was only after
Absolutely.
that, I forget the exact year, Mr.
Hmm.
Anadurai concedes that no, we
Hmm.
are going to be part of the Indian Union. Right?
Absolutely. Shugam sir, talking about the live issues, Hindi imposition and language, how do you see BJP under Narendra Modi dealing with something like this? Because, you reminded me of Anna Durai, like Rajagopalachari always said that, Hindi will be like this coconut chutney on your leaf. You can take it or you cannot have it. But Mr. Anadurai was very firm that I don't want it on my leaf. So this is a land of people who are very proud of Tamil language. Has the BJP managed to understand what self-respect is all about with respect to Tamil language?
No, they have. I mean, I wouldn't say that they have completely understood. And Mr. Annadurai was making that statement or bringing in that analogy via someone like a C. Rajgopalachari,
Yes,
who was
yes,
promoting Hindi. If you
yes,
remember,
yes,
in
yes.
the Tamil thing. So it's ironical that the whole situation is turned upside down now. But
Hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't say that they have completely understood identity politics, linguistic identity politics there. But I will say that they have made a significant departure
Hmm.
from what it was, say, even 5 years ago.
Right.
2018-19, the language was very different. But today,
Hmm.
if you look at it, Modi is trying to build certain bridges where
Hmm.
he tries to tell you that Tamil is not nothing less than Sanskrit. The classical position that the Tamil language acquires. I mean, the literary tradition of Tamil language goes back to the second century or the first
Yes.
century, the Sangam poetry and all of that. You know that. So he is trying to equate Tamil and Sanskrit. So it's a
Yes.
very clever thing because Sanskrit is something which is, we have seen as being part of the RSS,
Yes.
intellectual infrastructure. And here is Tamil, and he's trying to, relate to the antiquity of Tamil and say it's an
Hmm.
equally great language. In fact, even
Hmm.
in one of the, rallies that he addressed recently, he spoke about the antiquity quite a bit. So
Yes.
here
Absolutely.
they have made a beginning. They have understood that if they have to crack this whole
Hmm.
Tamil Nadu thing, they cannot alienate themselves or they cannot push themselves away from the language issue, which is so central. See,
Absolutely.
it's essentially linguistic identity
Yeah.
and linguistic culture. They are two different things, but
Yes.
Tamil Nadu's linguistic culture flows from its linguistic identity, language
Hmm.
identity, and BJP has not exactly learned to deal with it, but they have made a enormously huge beginning. And
Hmm.
if you also look at the kind of people they have brought into the party
Hmm.
and given charge of, the party, like someone like an
Yeah.
Annamalai, who speaks
Yes.
a completely different language. And they're also see simultaneously playing the Tevars and the
Yeah.
Mukkalatiyas
Yes.
and and in
Yes.
all the classic
Absolutely. Yes.
social engineering game is happening simultaneously. On the
Absolutely.
one hand, you see the antiquity game happening. On the
Hmm.
other hand, you also see the social engineering happening, and all
Hmm.
of this, I mean, they've is only indication of the fact that they've opened themselves up in a certain fashion, not probably as much as you and I think they should, but
Hmm.
they've at least got the Tamil people, at least a section of the Tamil people, interested in the BJP.
Absolutely.
I think
So one
that
of
is a very
my
cautious way of putting it, perhaps. Yeah.
Absolutely right, sir. And how important is caste here, Shugata sir? I remember one of your pieces in which you talked about the need for newsrooms to be representative. At one point, BJP was seen as an upper caste party. Even in Tamil Nadu, it was seen as a party of Brahmins. But today you have El Murugan, who's an Arundhatiyar, who's a Dalit. You have a Gounder, you in Annamalai and Vanati Srinivasan. They've also given space to someone like Ilayaraja, who's very pious, but at the same time not very Dravidian. So how do you think the BJP has done when it comes to representation and putting up this local front of leaders? Has it been representative? Has there been a departure in its ways?
See, there has been a departure. You're absolutely right. You forgot to mention Rajnikant. The
Yes,
Rajnikant
yes,
was another cult figure
yeah,
like
yeah,
Ilayaraja, who has,
yes,
made it into the cultural space of the
yeah,
BJP. And
yes,
if you remember, Ilayaraja went to the first Tamil Sangamam meeting and
yes,
spoke
absolutely,
laudatory about the Prime Minister.
yes,
So,
yes,
that is the cultural approach that I've been speaking about. Yes,
yeah.
I mean, when it comes to caste, the
Hmm.
social engineering that I've been talking to you about. See, for example, they've aligned with PMK, which is a one
Yes,
year, which has a 1 year base,
yeah,
right? And in the past, even the VCK has aligned with the PMK. It's not
yeah,
that even I
yeah.
mean, they have not. It's
I
not
mean,
that
they're
they
like
have
at
been.
odds and still
Yeah,
like
they've
yeah,
been
they
everywhere. They've been with
yeah,
AIDMK. They've been with DMK. So it's not
yeah,
that the Dalits are going to go en masse behind the
hmm,
BJP.
hmm.
Sorry, the DMK.
Okay,
Right.
yeah,
So there are a lot of these middle class. That's the reason why that number that I gave you right at the beginning of the
huh.
2011 census, 68% OBCs.
Obese.
Right.
Yes,
So that is where the whole game is. So
right.
they are extremely interested in doing multiple things at the same time. One is social engineering, playing with his caste, the Nadars.
Yes,
Shashikala's party, they've aligned with Shashikala's party.
savers.
And
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Tevers, right?
Yes.
And they've
The
aligned with
Kanyakumari
PMK.
candidate Ponna Radhakrishnan is a Nadar,
Yes,
same like
Nadar,
Kanimuri. Yeah. Yeah.
right? So you see that variety. Earlier, what used to happen, if I remember correctly, Vasudha, is that there would be OBC people in the
Yes.
party, but the instructions would come from, say, someone like a
Yes. Yeah.
Tughlaq
Yeah.
Cho Ramaswamy,
Yes.
or
Yes.
someone like, some other Brahmin
Yeah.
intellectual in the
Sugata sir,
party,
I'll
or
just mention this one point here. When I was covering the inauguration of the parliament, when the Adinams came, 29
yes,
Adinams, the one mutt that was missing was the Shankara mutt, which is a Brahmin mutt. So
absolutely,
they
yes,
ensured that, a lot of non-Brahmin mutts came. So I think that was
yes.
also a significant departure in the way people, Tamilians especially, perceive BJP.
Yeah, and also the Congress got it completely wrong. They saw the saffron and they mistook that saffron to be Hindu saffron. I've
Yes.
always made a distinction between caste
Right.
saffron and the Hindu saffron, because if you come to Karnataka, it's a
Okay.
huge sociological phenomena where even Dalits have a saffron mutt. There is a
Absolutely. Yes.
pontiff wearing a robe. The most oppressed Dalits in Karnataka, the Madigas, go with the BJP. So it's a see the Congress's lack of cultural understanding
Hmm.
has sort of made them attack the BJP. In not in terms that is more desirable.
Right.
They should have been a little more aware culturally as to where to sort of hit them or how to attack them.
Right, sir.
That they have not done. So this OBC accommodation, which is
Hmm.
also by let's be honest, they have also done that in Uttar Pradesh,
Uttar Pradesh. Yeah, absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
that OBC consolidation has also happened in Uttar Pradesh. Modi himself has presented himself as a See, initially in 2014, that OBC thing was a very clandestine operation
Yes.
for the
Yes.
BJP. But now
Yeah.
it's there in your face kind of a thing. It's
Yeah.
become an OBC party. And
Hmm.
that is also one of the reasons why
Hmm.
the Rahul Gandhi, who understands caste in a very limited way, has also jumped into the Mandal bandwagon. So there
Hmm.
is so much of caste that he has been speaking in the last 1 year.
Yes. Yes.
And
How do you see that,
and
sir?
see, that's something that I mean, somebody must have told him that if you don't understand caste, you can't sort of do anything with it. But my personal reading is that it has scared the Mandal parties who are his allies. I don't
Yeah.
think Akhilesh is very happy with Rahul Gandhi speaking about a Mandal agenda. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also probably one of the reasons why Nitish went away. That's also
Yes.
probably one of the reasons why Mayawati is very cautious. In fact,
Yeah.
I heard Devegowda tell me once,
Hmm.
very recently, when the India alliance was being made and Devegowda had been deliberately kept out. So I was
Hmm.
having a conversation with him, and he told me that this Rahul Gandhi doesn't seem to understand that he's stepping on the toes of his own allies by speaking about the Mandal agenda. Leave the Mandal and the caste agenda to people who know it best, and
Absolutely.
you as a national party build a national agenda so that the caste and the national agenda becomes a formidable kind of strategy against the BJP. So that was a
Absolutely.
commonsensical thing.
Yes. Yes.
But Modi has, I mean, simultaneously build a pan India kind of argument, which is, something that a national party should be doing if you
Right.
call yourself a national party. And Rahul Gandhi, on the other hand, has been saying India is not a nation, India is
Hmm.
a union of states. And where
Hmm.
is that argument coming from? That's the argument that the Dravidians have been making. And when did
Right.
they make that argument? Dravidians made that argument to tease your grandmother and your great grandfather, to tell them
Yes.
that please don't think
Yeah.
that you are the central power and you are the
Yeah.
cult that rules India and the family that rules India. We are a separate kind of country, we are a separate identity. So
Right.
India is a union of states. And if you remember, Vasudha, when Stalin's regime, I think it was in the first year or past the
Yeah.
first year, there was this whole controversy whether the government in Delhi should be called the central government or the union government,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
right?
Absolutely. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yes.
So so if Rahul Gandhi is sort of buying into completely the DMK agenda, then he's probably right to a small extent. That is the only civilizational contrast that
Yes.
exists to the Hindutva thing. Probably
Yeah.
to a small extent, the Punjab
Yeah.
Sikhs offer that kind of resistance. But
Yeah.
culturally, the opposite of what the BJP has so far
Is
been
the
doing
DMK. Yes.
is the
Indeed.
DMK. It's a
Absolutely, sir.
civilizational counter.
Yeah.
And BJP's propagandist lessons also come from the DMK.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
My
it's
my
like a fascinating kind of a thing that is happening.
Absolutely, sir. My last question to you, but two parts. How do you see, the DMK's counter to the BJP? DMK government's, DMK government has been talking about this devolution of funds, financial injustice, all of these things, which I'm sure Karnataka Congress also, we've seen them talk about this. But there is an ideological counter that the DMK has presented. Do you see this as an something that's exclusionary, or do you see Tamil Nadu and DMK giving a voice to the region? How do you see that, and how do you see BJP symbolism and all the efforts that they're making playing out politically? How long is it going to take for them to even sort of make some electoral gains?
See, that's a very interesting question, because this whole federal argument that Stalin and the others are making about the central funds, or PTR used to so
Yes.
eloquently speak about when it came to GST and other things, works in a better way in Tamil Nadu, because there is a political culture which understands that kind of a language. But outside of Tamil Nadu, say if you come to Karnataka, where I live in Bangalore, the same federal argument has sort of created a problem for the Congress in Karnataka. That is because 60% of the revenue for Karnataka is generated in one city called Bangalore. And now, if you extend the same argument that they are making, saying that we give 1 rupee to the central government and we get back only 45 paise, and so therefore we need more money, and so it's our right, it's our tax and all of that. Then what happens tomorrow if if people in Bangalore or old Mysore region start making the same argument that we contribute more to the kitty of Karnataka, so therefore more money should be spent on us and not on Karge's Gulbarga
Hmm.
or any other Bimaru district in Karnataka. So it creates a kind of lopsided, I mean, argument which does not sort of behove well for the Congress. So it does not
Absolutely.
help the Congress in any which way. But in Tamil Nadu, there is
It
a
does.
certain political culture which picks on that argument and plays it out differently. It's not that the Finance Commission rules or the formulas have changed after the BJP has come. And if you remember, Tamil Nadu in the past, under the DMK as well as under AIDMK, have been both part of central governments, right? Under UPA and NDA.
Yeah.
DMK has also been a partner with DM, I mean,
Yes.
with BJP. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah. They
not
had the
that.
common minimum program and all that, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
Yes.
one last thing is that the Dravidianism that Tamil Nadu speaks about is also a very exclusionary idea. It does not extend to Karnataka.
Okay.
So if you say I'm a Dravidian, they don't see you on par with their Dravidianism. Or that
Right.
argument cannot be made in Telangana. That
Okay.
argument cannot be made in Andhra, and it can never
Okay.
be made in Kerala.
Uh,
So what is
Got it.
this
So
Dravidianism?
it's not the entire South Indian thing. It's
Not the
just one
entire,
state.
yeah. So South India is not like it is being characterized in the last 6 months in the run up to the election. So
Yeah.
north versus south, north versus south. That's a bogus argument. It's a very flippant argument because the
Yeah.
south, culturally, linguistically, civilizationally, and even the political Dravidianism that we have been talking about in the recent past does not apply equally to all these states. And
Yes.
Tamils
Huh.
have excluded the other states in the south. For example, why is there this whole battle between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu on the Kaveri issue?
Yes,
If
absolutely.
you are
Yeah.
brothers, if you belong to the same civilizational root, linguistic family, the language family is the same, or whatever, the commonalities that you try to keep propping up, then you should have shared water. There is a
Yeah.
cordial way of sharing water.
Yeah.
I mean, Devegowda. I mean, again, to bring back Devegowda because he's a counter figure there.
Yes. Yeah.
Is he recently said there is a book that has been released on. I mean, he was telling me this, and it does not even mention Nariman, who argued the Kaveri case so brilliantly in the Supreme Court, and that is because he was making the case for Karnataka. So a
Okay.
book on Kaveri does not even speak about all the arguments, and it's only centered and focused on the interests of Tamil Nadu. Then how
Yes,
does
sir.
it become the southern interest?
Yes,
And
sir.
now
And politically?
after this, yeah, politically also,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
even now that Andhra and Telangana have split, there again the sharing of river waters has become an issue.
Yeah.
It is not again, it's a very interesting pointer. The whole linguistic reorganization of states debate started with Potti Sriramulu going on a fast for
Yeah.
Telugu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now what has happened? The language Telugu has not been able to hold together the Andhra,
Yes.
the state of the Telugu country together. They've split. Why did they split? They split on cultural basis. If you start looking like that in Tamil Nadu, there are probably three or four regions which don't culturally align. If you look at Karnataka, the coast is a completely different country from old Mysore. The Hyderabad Karnataka is completely different country. The Mumbai Karnataka is a completely different state. So it's a
So Dravidian does
fascinating
not apply to the entire south of India.
nothing
It
at
doesn't.
all.
Yes.
So that is something to be borne in mind when we
Political
speak.
Dravidianism, like you said.
Yes,
Yeah.
political Dravidianism. That is something to be borne in mind when people sitting in Delhi try to make this very flat arguments about north and south. It
Yeah.
doesn't it doesn't operate that way at all.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't operate even within Maharashtra. Why is there a demand for Vidarbha? So there is a cultural difference which we most times gloss over and think we can bring in a flatness. And that is where I find the Modi adventure into Tamil
Hmm.
Nadu very interesting because Modi is conceding to the diversity that exists in Tamil Nadu. It may
Absolutely,
not
sir.
be enough. It may not be
Huh,
enough. It may
huh,
not win you seats,
huh.
but it's certainly going to push up your vote share. That is all I'm willing to concede.
And culturally and civilizationally, you would think that this is a significant
Yes,
attempt that
it
needs to
slowly
be.
spreads, right? And they're also looking
Absolutely.
at 2026 elections, assembly
Hmm.
elections, by which
Absolutely.
time you don't know what the state of AIDMK will be, right? AIDMK is already splintered. The Shashikala
Yeah.
group is out. They have aligned with
Yeah.
them, and
Hmm.
you see Paneer Selvam contesting as NDA from Ramnathpuram,
Absolutely.
right?
So this is going to be
So
the most
so
important battle of his life,
yeah.
right?
So
Because
if AIDMK collapses completely or
hmm,
does not do well, then is BJP going to emerge as a number two party to DMK by 26?
hmm,
Or is the BJP alliance that they may build after that is going to be very, very dominant? At least number two party is the question that we need to ask. So they are playing a long term game,
hmm,
and therefore they are playing a cultural game. They are giving you civilizational credence. They are also sort of doing social engineering.
hmm,
They're also sort of countering political Dravidianism by sort of showcasing other states in the south.
hmm.
So
So it's a cautious game, but it's also a long-term game, and it's
yeah,
also something,
yeah.
yeah,
and
that's
and,
going to
and
be sustainable. That
Annamalai,
looks sustainable. Yes.
yeah, I believe that Annamalai speaking against Jayalalitha was a strategic move.
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
they did not want to be with AIDMK because now talking about hard politics, real politics, if
Yes.
AIDMK was part of the BJP alliance, like last time,
Hmm,
the anger against the BJP, so-called anger
hmm,
against the BJP, may have affected the AIDMK, and AIDMK would not have dented the DMK, sweep. Now, AIDMK, because it's independent of the BJP, may checkmate
hmm.
the DMK's sweep, and
Absolutely. Yeah.
and DMDK, Vijay Kant's party, is also
Yes.
sort of aligned with them. So
AIDMK.
the
Yes.
Dravidian, the hardcore Dravidian parties are standing away from the BJP, and
Hmm.
that I think is a beneficial kind of political condition for the BJP to grow. The Congress
Right.
is not doing that. The Congress has subsumed its identity and is stuck at 9 seats with the DMK. And they have no ideology to offer. They have embraced and completely borrowed the Dravidian DMK ideology.
Thank you, Mr. Srinivasaraju, for all those excellent points, sir, and for educating us
Thank you,
on the
Vasudha.
history, present, and
No, no,
future of Tamil Nadu.
you're fantastic too. Thank you very much.